You're listening to the TOEFL podcast, episode 17. This is TOEFL podcast number 17. I'm your host, Dr. Jeff McQuillan, coming to you from the Center for Educational Development in Los Angeles, California. This is the second of two parts on the writing portion, the writing exam, and writing exams in general for a standardized English language test. In part one, we talked about the importance of reading in helping you become a better writer. We talked about the three parts of an essay: the introduction, the body, or the main part, and the conclusion. We talked a lot about what should go into the introduction of your essay. It usually begins with a strong statement, sentence, introducing the topic to the reader. An introduction should also include your position, your main idea, what we would call your thesis, THESIS, your thesis, and it should also include some information about how your essay is organized. And I especially recommended giving a number so that the person reading the essay knows what parts, how many parts you are going to talk about. And then we started to talk about the body of the essay, what should go in the main part of the essay. Well, as I mentioned in the first part of this series, in the body of the essay are paragraphs, 2 or 3 paragraphs for the TOEFL exam, because remember, you only have a short amount of time, and you won't have time to write more than 2 or 3 paragraphs. Each one of those paragraphs should have one main or major point. And I, again, recommend that you make it easy for the person who is reading your essay to follow which part of your essay you are talking about. Sometimes you can do that by putting a number, saying, first, we are going to talk about the reasons why the internet is good for students. Or in this case, you would give the actual reason. The internet is good for students because it provides them with immediate access. So your first sentence, which we sometimes call the topic sentence, TOPIC, the topic sentence, that first sentence should tell the person reading your essay what you are going to talk about in that paragraph. Just like the introduction tells you what you're going to talk about in the whole essay, the first sentence of your paragraph, each paragraph in the body, should talk about what that paragraph is going to say. Now, as I mentioned in part 1, in the TOEFL exam and in many writing exams, you are often asked to tell your opinion, to what we would say, take a position. You have to say whether you agree or disagree with some statement. The topic of our sample essay here is whether the internet is a good thing or a bad thing for students. And we're going to take the position that it's a good thing. And we are going to talk about 2 reasons why it is a good thing. So I'm going to begin that second paragraph. The introduction is the first paragraph. The first paragraph of the body of the paper or the essay is the second paragraph. And I'm going to give one reason why I believe the internet is good. Now, in addition to that first sentence or topic sentence where you give your reason, you also have to provide support. And when we say provide support in an essay, we mean give evidence, give data, give some examples of why what you are saying is true. You also can think of this as giving more details. So if I take the position that the internet is good for students because it gives them immediate access, I want to talk about how, for example, you can go on a search engine like Google or Yahoo, and within less than a second, you can find hundreds of websites with information. This gives you instant access. And so you can even here give an example from your own personal experience.